afternoon. This is the news update on Dominion Television, Ibadan. I am Anoluwapo Itowu. President Bola Tinubu has directed the Budget Office of the Federation to put in place a clear framework for sharing the cost of electricity subsidies across the Federation. According to the President, the subsidy burden should no longer be treated as an open-ended federal responsibility. Our correspondent, Taiwo Olanrewaju, has more.
President Bola Tinubu has directed the Budget Office of the Federation to put in place a clear framework for sharing the cost of electricity subsidies across the Federation. According to the President, the subsidy burden should no longer be treated as an open-ended federal responsibility, stressing that electricity consumers who desire stable power supply must be prepared to pay for it. The directive has sparked mixed reactions and raised critical questions about its implications for Nigerians, the capacity of states to sustain electricity subsidies, and clarity on responsibilities for power distribution and transmission. Reacting to the development, public affairs analyst AJ Folorunsho faulted the move, warning that transferring subsidy obligations to states could place additional burden on citizens.
The basic thing is that which subsidy, some people will want to ask you. You said you have sold this thing to some private sectors, and then we have seen them, IBDC, all sorts of names here and there. All of a sudden, our government is saying you are going to do subsidy. So it means they want to create crisis in order to make sure that about 4 or 5 trillion naira who in the so-called electricity group, that they want to share it. I think the states should resist it and then ensure that things like that will not come, because you shouldn't pay what you don't know anything about. The point is that if the state will now have, then it means the state will have their own distribution and then transmission. That is how it's supposed to be. And then you want to do this thing, then you still have the national grid being controlled by the federal government. That's an error.
On his part, another analyst, Ignatius Obisalime, described the directive as a welcome development.
The federal government have decided that this time around there must be what we call electricity subsidy. It's a welcome development. It is one of the welfare policy being introduced by government. But the questions to be asked is this: how viable are the states? Are the states actually willing to comply with the directive from the federal government?
As discussions continue, stakeholders are calling for clearer guidelines on how electricity distribution and transmission will be managed under the proposed framework, as well as safeguards to protect vulnerable consumers. Taiwo Olanrewaju, reporting for Dominion News.
Oyo State chapter of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) has officially opened and commissioned its newly built state secretariat, marking a significant milestone in the party's administrative growth and political organization within the state. Our correspondent, Damilola Daudu, has the details.
That was the official commissioning of the newly built party secretariat of the Oyo State People's Democratic Party, held at the Secretariat Complex Okeado, Ibadan. Speaking at the event, the Oyo State Governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde, described the completion of the new secretariat as a reflection of party strength, unity, and forward-looking leadership in the state, adding that the newly built party secretariat would be named after the former Oyo State PDP chairman Alhaji Omokumi Mustafa.
This house is going to be named Omokumi Mustafa House. Chairman Olorire Obewa Sikopani. This is the document to this property. I will hand it over to our national chairman for onward transmission to the Board of Trustees that holds things in trust for the PDP. National Chairman, sir.
In their various goodwill messages, party leaders described the new secretariat as a symbol of stability, progress, and commitment to the democratic values. They noted that the facility will serve as a central hub for strategic planning, coordination, and effective service, delivering to party members across the state.
This is what we want in Oyo State, and we want a continuation of this.
There is no problem, there is green light under the tunnel, and it will come up one day. And the day, very shortly, PDP will be on the ballot paper in this Oyo State and in Nigeria.
The newly commissioned commissioned secretariat is equipped with solar power supply, modern office, and meeting spaces designed to enhance administrative efficiency and improve internal party operations. The ceremony gathered both national and state leaders, including Kabiru Taminu Turaki, former Kano State Governor Ibrahim Shekarau, and concluded with a tour of the facility by party leaders and invited guests. Damilola Daudu, reporting for Dominion News.
Meanwhile, reactions have continued to throw comments by the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, who has declared a political war against his former ally and Oyo State Governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde. Our correspondent, Taiwo Olanrewaju, has more.
Reactions have continued to trade comments by the Minister of Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, who has declared a political war against his former ally and Oyo State Governor, Seyi Makinde. Speaking at a recent political gathering, Wike said he is now taking a keen interest in the affairs of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in Oyo State. He accused Governor Makinde of actions capable of weakening the party and vowed to resist what he described as internal sabotage. The FCT minister warned that he would not allow what he termed internal vampires to destroy the PDP at the national level.
But I will not allow greedy and vampires who were not there, who were coming for me to take over the PDP.
Reacting to the development, the chairman of the PDP in Oyo State, Honorable Dayo Ugungberu, dismissed Wike's comment, describing them as typical of his political style. He said the state chapter of the PDP remains focused.
The former governor of Rivers State is known for his antics. Oh, it's no money. If he's now even declaring a war on our governor, that war is doomed to fail from inception. Because those who destroy to reach the top will make destruction waiting for them. That is the law of karma. So we are not new to ex-Governor Wike's antics. So we are not going to be distracted with that.
Meanwhile, a political scientist, Dr. Stephen Lafenwa, says the development reflects deeper internal tensions within the PDP.
Both factions will lose if they cannot just come together and reconcile and work with the existing organ as recognized by INEC and government, by INEC, that is the BOT, to have a caretaker committee, members from both sides and let them decide on where they are going to have their convention that will be recognized by INEC and other stakeholders.
As the political drama unfolds, observers say how the PDP leadership handles the disputes may have implications for party unity ahead of future elections. Taiwo Olanrewaju, reporting for Dominion News.
And also the foreign scene, the leader of the AFC M23 rebel movement in the Democratic Republic of Congo, Corneille Nangaa, has claimed responsibility for a drone attack on Kisangani Airport, calling it a warning to the government. In a statement, rebel leader Nangaa said the attack showed that the military's air superiority had been broken and warned that aircraft used against rebel-held areas would be targeted. Authorities in Shopo province say 8 explosive-laden drones targeted the airport but were intercepted and shot down before causing damage. Kisangani is located hundreds of kilometers from the main conflict zones in North and South Kivu, where the rebels have seized large areas, including the cities of Goma and Bukavu. The Metropolitan Police has launched a criminal investigation into Lord Peter Mandelson over allegations of misconduct in public office. The former Labour Minister and United Kingdom ambassador to the United States is accused of sharing market-sensitive government information with United States financier and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Emails released by the United States Department of Justice reportedly show Lord Mandelson forwarded the information while serving as business secretary in 2009 under former Prime Minister Gordon Brown. And talking sport, Arsenal have booked their place in the Carabao Cup final after a dramatic 1-0 win over Chelsea at the Emirates Stadium. The semi-final second leg was decided into stoppage time when substitute Kai Havertz struck in the final minute to seal victory. The result secured a 4-2 aggregate win for Mikel Arteta's side, extending Arsenal's unbeaten run against Chelsea to 10 matches across all competitions. The encounter was largely cautious with few clear chances before Havertz's late intervention sent the home fans into celebration. Arsenal will now face either Manchester City or Newcastle in the final at Wembley. And that's about it. You can visit our website on www.dominion.org.ng to watch us live and interact with us. You can also follow us across our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and LinkedIn at Dominion Broadcast, and next at Dominion Cast. And that ends the news update on Dominion Television. I am Anu Oluwapo Ido. Thank you for watching.